I want to thank the American people who have given their lives and money in order to achieve noble goals in Iraq, such as ending the suffering and spreading democracy. Thank you thousands of times. In my written testimony, I highlighted the reasons for an Iraqi Commission on Public Integrity, my appointment as Commissioner, and my background, and discusses much of our work. Our work has been noteworthy, but I must report that corruption in Iraq today is rampant across the government, costing tens of billions of dollars, and has affected virtually every agency and ministry, including some of most powerful officials in Iraq. Corruption has stopped possible advances by the government on the political level, on economic reconstruction, on basic services, amenities, and infrastructure, and on the rule of law. Corruption has contributed to the failure of the government of Iraq to control the militias that control parts of the government. In fact, corruption has helped fund sectarian militias and violence, even from those in the Iraqi military and police, who are supposed to maintain order and protect the Iraqi people. Unfortunately, today in Iraq, corruption has infected our biggest source of money. Oil corruption has also infected those who have the guns to restore law and order, and leadership who promise a new, better Iraq. I have led my life governed by these few words: law is above all, no one is above the law. This guiding principle should apply to all government departments and ministries neutrally, fully, and without regard to sect, ethnic, or party affiliation, tribe, or religion. That is how we have tried to operate the Commission on Public Integrity in Iraq. Unfortunately, we have been met with great problems. First and foremost is the violence and personal attacks direct on us. Since the establishment of the Commission on Public Integrity, 31 employees have been killed, as well as at least 12 family members in a number of cases. My staff and their relatives have been kidnapped or detained and tortured prior to being killed. Many of these people were gunned down at close rank. This includes my staff member, Muhannad Abd Salaf, who was gunned down with his 7-month pregnant wife. In one case of a target death and torture, the security chief on my staff was threatened with death many times. His father was recently kidnapped and killed because of his son's work at CPI. His body was found hung on a meat hook. One of my staff members who performed clerk duties was protected by my security staff, but his 80-year-old father was kidnapped because his son worked at CPI. When his dead body was found, a power drill had been used to drill his body with holes. Walid Kashmula was the head of CPI's Mosul branches office. In March 2005, a suicide bomber met with Walid in his office. Wearing a suicide vest, he greeted Walid and set off his vest, killing Walid. This was a target killing of CPI leadership. These are just a few examples. There are many more which were directed to my staff. Me and our families personally, for example, my family's home has been attacked by rockets. I have had a sniper bullet striking near me as I was outside my office. We have learned the hard way that the corrupt will stop at nothing. They are so corrupt that they will attack their accusers and their families with guns and meat hooks, as well as counter charges of corruption. I and many of my people have been so attacked, so to have others who have tried to stop the corruption. It is a sick method. When the person fighting corruption is falsely accused of corruption, justice loses and corruption wins. The Prime Minister and his government have refused to recognize the commissions and the judiciary independence under the law to investigate corruption in a non-sectarian and non-political manner. Further, the government did not appoint leaders, particularly ministries and inspector generals, that would fight corruption within ministries. In order to promote sectarian agendas, professional technocrats who were qualified to perform vital government services and administrations were not appointed. Once the government has formally taken actions against the presidency, the Council of Ministers and former and current ministries use the executive law to allow ministers and the Prime Minister to stop specific corruption cases against their own corrupt employees and officials, and has promoted sectarian agendas over the rule of law. Importantly, it has been impossible for the Commission on Public Integrity to safely and adequately investigate oil corruption where Sunni and Shia militias had control of the metering, transport and distribution of Iraq oil. This has resulted in the Ministry of Oil effectively financing terrorism through these militias. And my small group of investigators investigated the largest number of cases in the Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Interior. As you might imagine, investigating the security forces of Iraq is very difficult but necessary for an Iraqi future of transparency and the rule of law. Thank you for your attention and patience, and feel free to ask any questions.